The Chiefs won, and Mahomes and Andy Reid are absolute fire. No one should be taking away from Mahomes or Reid or what the Kansas City Chiefs have done. And to be quite honest, a day after, I think anybody looking at this situation could look at it both ways. We're talking about the holding call. I know. You got to always call holding. I know, but not in that situation. Look, this is like politics. There's two sides to this. You could argue both of them. I'm not going to sit here and try and convince somebody of my angle. And I'm certainly not so close-minded I don't understand the other person's argument. The holding stuff, I don't even care about that as much anymore. What bothers me, what probably fueled my initial reaction, if you watch my video prior, where I'm pretty irate that the game ended the way it did. But what's fueling, I think, most of my aggression is that these particular fan bases, you know who you are, you're tying the Eagle loss to Jalen Hurts being not as good as people thought. Or the Eagle defense had a cakewalk into a Super Bowl appearance. That they didn't play enough defenses. I'm seeing it now all over IG, all over Twitter, all over YouTube. If your team wasn't in it, you don't have anything to do with it. Stop running your mouth about how the Eagles are bad, or they didn't deserve to be there, or they didn't beat anybody significant. They were in a Super Bowl. Don't tell me they had a cakewalk entry into the Super Bowl. And don't tell me the Eagles defense got worked or exposed. Those are the things that bother me, because Jalen Hurts had his team coming back, after losing a lead. I get that. This is the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I don't feel like the Eagles defense got worked over. All we keep hearing are people say they got exposed. Debo was right. Debo wasn't right. This was the Kansas City Chiefs. This was Andy Reid. These were two offenses going blow for blow, tit for tat. 35-35 came down to one penalty, and you could say the holding call was deserved. Fine. I can accept that that's your viewpoint. I'm not mad at you for viewing it that way. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And if push came to shove, I could argue either side of that. To be completely honest with you, I don't think the game should have ended the way it did. That doesn't make me a bad person. That doesn't make me wrong. Doesn't make you right. Doesn't make you wrong. There's arguments on both sides. Yeah, they shouldn't have called that at that moment. Or you gotta always call holding. I get it. Stop trying to convince the other side. No one's gonna listen to you. But I'm here to defend Jalen Hurts. I'm here to defend the Eagles. I'm here to tell you this team fought hard and was the second best team in football, yet some fan bases are trying to ride the coattails of the Kansas City Chiefs to vicariously win their Super Bowl and root against the Eagles and destroy and tear down Jalen Hurts, and to destroy and tear down the Philly defense, and to destroy and tear down the Eagles' path to the Super Bowl, calling it a cakewalk. Ridiculous. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Take a lap.
Okay, let's be honest with ourselves. Let's look ourselves in the mirror. Was I a little bit upset last night? Yeah. Did I have reason to be? I'm not an Eagle fan. First off, I'm a Jalen Hurts believer. I'm a Jalen Hurts predictor. I don't know anybody that was higher on Jalen Hurts than this show was walking into 2022, the entire season long. So when I see a lot of negativity around Jalen walking in, he's never had a tough game. He doesn't have experience. He's going to get rattled. When I see things like
the Philly defense is going to get exposed,
Debo Samuel saying that they're going to get exposed, Ayuk saying they're going to get exposed because of bitterness of not being in the Super Bowl. I understand the bitterness. I'm not even mad at Niner fans for being upset, feeling slighted. I'm not mad at any fan base that feels like they didn't get a fair shake. Look, it happens all the time, and I have respect for the Niner defense, that Niner offense, what they did with Brock Purdy in there. My thoughts about Shanahan are a little different than the average person, but neither here nor there. I respect what the Niners did in 2022. But to walk out of that Eagles contest and just literally talk bad about a team that just beat you, regardless of why, isn't a good look. And I know that the Niners were probed on Radio Row during the Super Bowl weekend, and they're difficult questions to answer. I like a good rivalry, and the Eagles and Niners surely are creating this crazy rivalry because, let's be honest, the Eagle fans can get a little out of control. They can get a little disrespectful. Some say they're the most aggressive fan base in the NFL. Some say the most disrespectful. Some say the most loyal. Some say the most loud. Have whatever spin on it you want. I'm not an Eagle fan. I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I'm an Eagle believer because because I am an analyst that looks at things from a player perspective. I'm a big A.J. Brown fan. I'm a big Devontae Smith fan. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. So I'm rooting for the Eagles because they have my boys on the team. I get a little defensive at times. I'm a human being. And looking at last night, looking at it over and over, there's holding. There's holding on the play. There's holding all over. And I don't know that it's fair to use either excuse. Oh, you call that because it's, the game's on the line. It's important enough to call it then when it's not called all game long. When the ball wasn't even in play right there at the point of the hold. But I understand both sides. I really do understand both sides. I think where people go wrong when they start talking about the end of this game is that the Eagles didn't march down the field, score and tie the game, almost sending it to overtime, making it a 35-35 game, and the narrative again is negative about the Philadelphia Eagles. The offense can't stop Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They're magicians. They are amazing together. I have the graphic up. Mahomes and Reid are fire together. And you can say that independently without saying you can't stop Reid and Mahomes. The defense got worked over. Jalen Hurts fumbled the ball early on in the game before he scored 4 touchdowns, which no quarterback has ever done in a Super Bowl loss before, scoring 4 touchdowns. Unbelievable performance. Grit. A lot of people still doubting him. Some people are giving him credit, and I appreciate that. Not that I'm owed that, but I appreciate it none the same. Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
But the Eagle haters need to stop. It is not a good look. And when you start saying things like, oh, the vindication, the Niners are vindicated. The Niners aren't vindicated. What are you talking about? Again, I have respect for my Niner fan base. I have respect for the Niners, but nothing was proven right here. The Eagles went toe-to-toe with arguably the best quarterback in the game right now, arguably the best coach in the game, and probably 100% the best coach and quarterback combination in the NFL. 35-35. No one got vindicated. I hate to burst your bubble, Eagle haters out there. No, Debo's comments weren't vindicated. No, Ayuk's comments weren't vindicated. Everyone talking about the Eagles getting thrashed apart. It was 35-35. 2 of the best electric offenses in the NFL scoring points. No one was going to slow either one of them down. It's a joke, an absolute joke to describe this as anything but an absolute epic battle that came down to one play, and you can argue which side of the fence you want to be on with the holding call. I get it, but you can't, with a straight face, use words like vindication, proven right. Niners have nothing to do with it. You guys have nothing to do with this game. My Cardinals have nothing to do with this game. Eagle haters didn't win anything. You didn't win the Super Bowl. I hate to break it to you. Here, let's go to your room. Hey, Eagle hater. Psst, psst, wake up. Wake up. You didn't win. You didn't win. I know you're about to sleep tight tonight thinking you won the Super Bowl, but you didn't, bro. Have a good night. In a nutshell, I love you all. I love my Niner fans. I love my irrational Eagle fans, my irrational Niner fans, my smart Niner fans, my smart Eagle fans, my smart Joe Burrow believers get burrowed. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
Burrow had nothing to do with this game, believe it or not, okay? But here's my point. Here's my final point. Can I admit there was holding? Yes, because people continue to ask me, do I think it should have been called in this situation? No, I don't. But does that make me wrong and you right, or me right and you wrong? No, so stop it and stop trying to convince people. No one cares. It's like your mom trying to nag you about something you're not going to listen to. There's 2 sides to this debate. There's not one. Stop acting like there's one, and I'm going to stop acting like there's one. Because you know what? Last night, I'm admitting to you, I acted like there was one side. I did. I admit it to you. At least I'm man enough to admit there are 2 angles to this. Last night, I felt so bothered by the Eagle hate I initially saw getting blasted on social media over and over. I took more of a one-sided argument to a 2-sided stance. I took a megaphone to a gunfight, but it doesn't change my opinion. I still believe it shouldn't have been called. And stop trying to convince me. I know you're sitting there typing right now, big old paragraph. I'm not going to read it, but I do believe what fuels a lot of us to get angry about this situation that did want to see the Eagles win is the ridiculous victory laps from people that had nothing to do with it. Go back and regroup for 2023, just like all of the other teams, including the Eagles. Go back, regroup, and try and go take the crown off of Patrick Mahomes' head. Eagles didn't win, but the Eagles got to the big game. Unless you're a Chiefs fan, stop talking like you won this game when you're throwing shade and hate on the Eagles. Go retool. Go focus on your own team. Stop talking about this 35-35 battle between two of the best offenses in the entire NFL like they're not going to go blow for blow and both score 35 points. It has nothing to do with the Philly defense. It has nothing to do with anybody getting worked over. It was a magnificent game. Your victory laps aren't accepted here. And I'm obviously talking to the Eagle haters only right here. You know I love all of you. 2023 is getting going right now. Today is day one, essentially. We've been working hard all January and February, but today is day one. 2023 fantasy football, news, smoke season, all of it begins right now. And get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Get your year-round rankings, bold predictions, trade advice, trade calculators. The text line's absolutely off the charts. And also, best balls opened up. The rookies are included. Get on over to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. And if you don't sign up now and get ready, when we do best ball drafts late at night, we do them in the midnight show. And I'm live at midnight like almost every other night. And we go in and we do best ball drafts with rookies for 2023. It's absolutely phenomenal. And if you're not signed up early, you won't get in because it's going to take you too long to sign up and make your deposit and get your $100 bonus match dollar for dollar using promo code Smitty or the link in the description. The link in the description puts the promo code in for you. But if you try and dilly-dally now, you're not going to get in and be able to draft with us live. So do it now. Get ready. Be prepared. We're drafting in the evenings. I'll see you all later.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.